Hello everyone, my name is Wheldon, and the title of my presentation is How Do We Get College Students to Recycle More and Recycle Smarter? So some background. So recycling has quite a few benefits to our society, including environmental and economic benefits. And for targeting recycling education, college students are a very important demographic because of their relatively young age, and then they tend to hold greater positions of influence later on in their life. However, recycling streams can become very contaminated, and this can make recycling more expensive and more time consuming. And if it's too contaminated, the recyclables will just be sent to the landfill instead. So better education is needed to prevent further recycling contamination. And then in this first image right here, you can see some plastic bags getting stuck in our recycling equipment that workers have to remove manually, increasing the time to recycle. So my research question is, what considerations for education changing the recycling behavior of college students can be made to reduce recycling contamination? So I interned with Edo Recycling and worked on a number of waste reduction educational materials. Here you can see a few Instagram posts that I helped work on. I also conducted scholarly research and created a survey to supplement my research. So some key findings that I found. There's mixed results across studies on the effect of environmental knowledge or belief as a predictor of recycling behavior. However, in my survey, 100% of my respondents said it influenced their decision to recycle, so it still seems that it's relevant, at least to some degree. Convenience is a very important factor for both recycling behavior and education, and a few studies found that this was the most important factor. Social factors are also important, including pressures from friends, family. This was also the second greatest influencer among my survey respondents. I also in that what is recyclable varies by area. So some areas, something may be recycling, in areas, some other areas, some things may not be recyclable. So that's another important factor to consider. And also from my survey and from some sources, there's still great improvement for reducing practices that lead to contamination among college students. So some takeaways. So education should strive to communicate what is recyclable given local laws, which can help reduce confusion, but also reduce recycling contamination. Education should also be convenient and accessible. And here's a very good example of not only convenient, but super accessible recycling education. And education should also try to increase the view of recycling as a social norm, which can help increase recycling rates. And some implications. So that our educational approaches will need to be tailored for each individual institution given their budgets. Given their budgets, but also the local laws, like what is recyclable there, because it's different for each area. And education and infrastructure improvements, it's still very important to increase recycling rates, but that should be balanced by trying to reduce contamination rates, because if the contamination rates are too high, it doesn't matter how high the recycling rates are. So thank you for listening to my presentation.